Hello everyone, HuskeyNinja here with another episode of my Weiss Schwarz 101 series. I figured today I'd talk about what is a stage. As a lot of cards will mention when you play this card from hand to stage, when you have a specific amount numbers of cards of the same trait, or it will say like the number of characters on your stage, this card does this. And so I figured, why not do a video explaining what the stage is? And boom. I have gathered this information, this image of a Weiss Schwarz stage from the Bushiroad website. So big shouts to them. And we will go in order of where things are. So your first location on your stage is where your deck goes. This is very crucial that you try and keep it so you have enough space for your waiting room below it and your memory above it. It also makes it easy for when it's like you're doing an attack or an effect, and it's like look at the top card of your deck or to do your trigger step. It's a lot quicker to do it, as well as like it was like turn over X amount of cards from the top of your deck to your waiting room. It makes it easier to make the gameplay work smoothly that way. So this is where your 50 card deck will go. The second location of the stage is your level zone. It's very crucial with the level zone that you pay close attention as to what colors you're put in there, as it will dictate what colors you can play at levels 1, 2, and 3 while your clock area is empty. So for example, you're level 1 and you've clocked, for example, a red card and your clock is empty. That means you can play cards that are red up to level 1. But then if you get another color into your level zone, it means you can play your red and the other color up to level 2, and so on. It's also a good way to gauge of how close you are to level 3, but then at level 3 you want to try your best to not get to level 4, as level 4 will mean game over. Which brings us to the clock. The clock equals both as a way to discard a card at the start of your turn in order to draw 2 cards, as well as your shield before you level up. So basically think of it as your damage counter. You're safe as long as, well, the maximum amount of cards you're allowed here and still be safe is 6 cards. But once you hit 7 cards, you have to send a card to your level zone. It's a good way to gauge as well with the clock and level working together. Because if you put, for example, like I said, with the level zone, of having a red card in your level zone, but you also have, if you've played a 3-color deck, the other 2 colors you play in your deck in your clock, that means you can play the cards of the 3 colors in your deck up to level 1, as long as those other colors are in your clock. So it's a good way to gauge what you can and can't play, as well as how much damage you have taken, as well as how much more you have to take before you can level up. Our next zone on the stage is stock. This happens from either card abilities or when you do your trigger step, because it is where your card that you've done your trigger damage with will end up. Use your stock to pay for abilities and to play characters. So it's how you pay for your cost to do actions, abilities, play cards. It's also where you find your stock to pay to encore character, which is 3 cards from your stock to your waiting room. Unless the card specifies from discard card from hand, you'll be paying 3 stock. There are some cards in Weiss Schwarz where it makes so you only pay 2 stock, or your opponent will have a card that makes it so you only pay 2 stock. But stock is your payment area. After stock, we have our climax area. In another video, I will go over climax cards in more detail, but this is where climax cards where the artwork is sideways on the card, or in better words, landscape, go here and do whatever abilities they have. A lot of them basically give you a power boost of 1,000 power and a soul, but there's some that also have their own nifty little abilities and tricks. Next, we move on to your character slots. This is broken up into 2 areas, your center stage and your backstage. Your center stage consists of 3 character slots, left, center, and right. And your backstage consisting of 2 spaces. Backstage is best for if it's when you're playing an assist card, so it affects the 2 cards in front of the slot, as well as ones where it's like all your characters get X amount of power. They'll go here. It's also a good spot for if you don't have assist cards available at the time, but you've standbyed via a climax card or a character ability to let you draw a card from your deck or waiting room onto stage. It's a good place to put them while you can't play them that turn, due to it's basically equivalent of, from Magic the Gathering, summoning sickness. But you may be wondering, what happens to your cards if they've been defeated on the stage? Well, they go to your waiting room. Waiting room is basically a graveyard, but in its own way. Yes, your cards once defeated go here, but you can also retrieve cards from here via card abilities, and climax cards, and trigger abilities. There are also a nifty ability, which is that once your waiting room has all the cards from your deck zone in it, because your deck has become empty, you don't lose the game that way. Oh no, you shuffle your waiting room and it goes back to where your deck goes. This can happen a few times or quite a few, or a lot of times, which helps Weiss Schwarz stand out from its competitors. And in the top right of your stage, you have memory. Not all sets in Weiss Schwarz use memory, but those that do will have cards that say, like, send this card to memory once it's been defeated. It goes there. Or your opponent will have a card, they'll send one of your cards to memory. There are very few cards that let you bring a card out of memory. So think of memory kind of like a prison. We also have cards that will get special abilities and boosts depending on how many cards are in your memory or specific cards are there. As well as cards in memory can do the same for your characters. But as a whole, there aren't that many areas of a Weiss Schwarz stage. Every trial deck you buy in Weiss Schwarz will come with a paper version of this that explains a few steps. But you can also get fabric game mats that have rubber backs, some that have faint outlines of these areas, and others that do not. This includes Bushiroad's official game mats. Some older ones will have a faint outline or clear just like shadow silhouette of where these zones are, while others do not. But once you get gotten the hang of Weiss Schwarz, you memorize where all these zones are. So as a whole, there are a total of 8 zones to keep your eye on. But over time while you play Weiss Schwarz, you get used to where each and every one is, and including the flow of what goes where. Even while watching match videos of people on YouTube playing it, and also of tournaments, you can see basically where things will go and get the general gist of where things will go throughout a game. And every set will play differently as well. So, until next time, I thank you all so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Make sure your restriction mode is off because YouTube will hide videos from you guys. And also while you're there, make sure you check out the rest of the videos here on my channel as well. Until next time, bye everyone!